Hello everyone, I'm Renown Zero, and over the weekend there was an event called the FanX Salt Lake Comic and Pop Culture Convention going on over in Salt Lake City. Over the weekend they had a very special actor they decided to bring on board, which was of course Gina Carano. You can see her right here. You can see that here's the Twitter account. You can see that people were there to see her. People that were dressed up as as Cardoon, the character she played on The Mandalorian, the Star Wars show on Disney Plus. You can see her here. You can see as it's J Junk 3PO pans the camera. You can see Gina Carano right there. You see other fans here with, of course, Cardoon merchandise. Got day two. You see people with Cardoon shirts, Cardoon merch, etc., etc. But of course, not everyone was happy that Gina Carano was at this event. Of course, there was an article coming to us from, of course, the Salt Lake Tribune, who calls her controversial, because she says things online that are factual statements, things like that, and mocks certain things that are being said. So, of course, we have this article here. Crowd at FanX welcomes controversial actress Gina Carano with cheers and adoration. The Saturday panel was packed with fans paying avid attention. The actress thanked them for creating a, quote, super safe space. Yeah, a safe space away from weirdos and those weirdos you find online with pronouns in bio and all their mental illnesses. Those people, those kind of psychotic people that want to have her have struggle sessions when she doesn't agree with certain ideologies over at Disney. Quote, I love you, Gina, and echoed yell rang out in the grand ballroom at the Salt Palace Convention Center as actress Gina Carano, wearing a black hat, took her seat. Moments later, across the ballroom, another fan echoed, I love her more. The cries are indicative of the general excitement people had to see Gina Carano and others speaking on the Saturday afternoon Spotlight Q&A panel at FanX, which featured Carrie Jones, Katie Sackhoff, and Daniel Logan, all of them being involved in Star Wars productions. You had Katie Sackhoff, who was Bo-Katan. I don't know who Carrie Jones is, but Daniel Logan was Boba Fett. He was like the child Boba Fett in the prequels. The Q&A guidelines shown before the panel began instructed that no questions on politics should be asked. The guidelines are shown before every panel, but were especially relevant during this one. In 2021, Carano was fired from The Mandalorian and dropped by her talent agency after making comments on social media. In one post that was deleted, she compared the political climate in the United States to that of experiences of Jewish people during this terrible event. Yeah, she said essentially that do not turn on your neighbors, do not turn in your neighbors, which is essentially what people did during that terrible event right here and during lockdowns in the COOF. She also mocked the use of preferred pronouns, as in people who want to force you, not ask you, force you to use preferred pronouns, and the people who are trying to force her to say, well, you should put pronouns in your bio, in your Twitter bio, or you're a phobe. Like, no one should be allowed to tell anyone to do anything they don't want to do. And you shouldn't be criminalized for not wanting to do things that people are trying to essentially force you to do or demand that you do. And shared misinformation in 2020 about fraud and COOF. Yeah, and then we found out it was all true. So, when FanX announced in August that Carano was scheduled to attend, reaction on social media was swift and angry, with accusations that FanX organizers were deleting comments from trans rights supporters. Yeah, because people should really care about what a bunch of people who don't understand life and don't know what gender they are. We should definitely listen to those mentally ill people. That's most of them, by the way. Not all of them are like that, but the people on social media tend to act like that. They tend to act like psychos, and they tend to not be all there in the head. Event organizers posted a message on the FanX Instagram account. Quote, while we invite you to express your feelings towards any guest announcement, attacking other commenters in the comment section will be hidden and or deleted, as well as anything vulgar. Because this is what they tend to do. They tend to overreact. They tend to get very vicious in their comments, and they think it's okay. They really, truly think it's okay to be vicious towards someone they disagree with. That's fine. You're not going to go to the event. More than likely, you ain't got money to go to the event anyway. So why are you yelling and screaming over someone getting announced? They tend to do this these activists tend to do this all the time when it comes to people they don't like. FanX co-founder Dan Farr told the Salt Lake Tribune that when it comes to booking panelists or guests for the convention, quote, I never ever want anyone to feel diminished or like they're not valued. By no means when we book guests do we look at somebody and say, oh, this person is on this side of the spectrum. Therefore, we're saying that we agree with what they said or what may be perceived as what the person is like. The convention, Farr said, generally doesn't get involved with what a guest does or doesn't do on social media, which is how it should be. It doesn't matter. This is a W. This is similar to what Anime Matsuri did with Vic Mignogna, bringing him on board and absolutely ignoring all the losers and weirdos that are trying to say he did something bad, he did this and this and that. Completely ignored them because they know, at least in Anime Matsuri's case, they know Vic Mignogna brings the guest and Vic Mignogna brings in the money. That's what's important. However, Carano's attendance didn't seem to be an issue. In fact, the audience generally seemed to be excited to see Carano and the other guests. Several thanked her for attending. Yes, because normal brains, people have normal brains and that are normal and that don't get out of their face over every little thing and get fake offended over everything are typically the ones that have the money to attend these types of events. Typically, the people who complain, we're never going to go to the event in the first place. One attendee who asked the question first said, Gina, I respect how you stand up for what you believe in. Katie, what is your most controversial opinion? Sakov responded by saying, quote, I believe that it is my right to raise my child the way I want to raise my child. Everybody else is allowed to have their opinion about how they raise their child. I don't know why it's controversial. Another attendee asked the panelists, quote, what they do to stay grounded in this industry. Carano quipped, get canceled, in response, and the entire audience roared with laughter. In a longer answer, she said life has lows and highs, and learning to maintain a balance is what she said helps her. As long as you have hope in your heart, a vision, and a dream, you can always be shooting for something, Carano said. Nobody can take that away from you, not an industry, Hollywood, or bullies. Because essentially Disney wanted to put her within a snuggle session between a bunch of trans activists and tried to essentially get her to bend the knee to their weirdo ideology. Quote, one of the easiest ways to stay humble and kind is to realize that we have careers because of you guys, and giving our time at conventions is our way of thanking you for showing up, Sakov added. Carano, who said this was her first experience being on a stage at a panel, also spoke about how she felt about FanX. These are some of the kindest people I've met, she said at FanX crowds. I feel like we all protect each other. It's a super safe space where we can all laugh, cry, and joke, so I will be coming back. And I find it very interesting how, let me see if I can find it here, right? Because this is probably going to be the message that she put out. Oh, it's not even the message, right? Oh wait, that's not even it. Hold on. This is the right one here. Let's see, what do they use? PBS. Yeah, definitely not biased at all. Let's see. Lucasfilm says Gina Carano is no longer part of the Mandalorian cast after many online call for firing or social media posts that liken the experience of Jews due to the Holocaust to U.S. political climate. Nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their culture and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. Carano fell under heavy criticism after she posted that, quote, Jews are beaten in the streets not by Nazis but by the neighbors, even by children. So yeah, essentially, the actor continued to say, because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to that point where could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? Yes, so that's the quote-unquote controversial statement that supposedly that she had that got her fired from garbage Disney Star Wars. You know, that thing that's crashing and burning over at Lucasfilm. Yeah. No one really cares. People were excited to see Gina Carano, as they do. And people will continue to love to see Gina Carano because she stood up for herself. She stood up against the garbage people on the internet who tried to cancel her all those years ago, a couple of years ago. And people love her for it. And people love her character. People want to talk about we don't like strong women characters, yet when they are presented with, when people are presented with one in Cara Dune, we love her. So what's the problem? But anyway, I think that's all I had to say on this topic. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit that like button, comment below what you feel about all this, subscribe for more content, hit the bell for notifications, set the bell to all, that way you get notifications anytime I post a new video, and I will see you all on the next one. Peace.